Hey guys, today I am going to talk about some small books that I think that you should read. I think all except one made me cry. I'm doing this because it's Vito and also because I feel like it's getting towards the end of the year and having some small books in there to like bump up your Goodreads challenge is nice. You know, not that it's all about numbers, but these are all really, really phenomenal books and so you should read them. The first one that I have is The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark. This is about Miss Jean Brodie, who is a teacher, and she's got her 6 pupils, and so they're like the Brodie set, and things get weird. It's got that same like kind of vibe, I feel like, of The Secret History. The content is completely different, but it's that same, like school vibe, teacher, pupils, some secret stuff's happening. Everyone's kind of shady. You don't really know what's happening. So yeah, that was really, really enjoyable. I need to read more Spark immediately. The next one that I have is a classic that everyone probably had read or has read, but just in case, that is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I read this for the first time last year or the year before, but yeah, this book had me in so many tears. It was so heartbreaking. The relationships in this book, the relationship between the 2 main characters is just like, oh, you should read it if you haven't read it for some reason. It's definitely worth your while, and it's so tiny. So yes, I recommend it. I feel like it was very difficult. I remember it being kind of difficult for me to get into at the very beginning because the description, it's more, I don't want to say it's not Western at all, but it has that same kind of like vibe that I don't particularly like. But then once we start getting more into the story, it's really, really good. And I forgot about that beginning a little bit, so that I was a little hesitant about. The next one that I have is Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and this is translated from Spanish by Gregory Rabasa. And this is, I feel like I talked about this very recently. I forget when though, because the days blend very much. But this is the story of a man who is killed in a town, and it's called Chronicle of a Death Foretold. So basically everyone knows that he's going to be killed, but no one does anything to stop it. So this guy's kind of trying to figure out what happened and how this whole town could let this guy be murdered. And it is amazing. Recommend this so highly. So good. Also cried hysterically at the end of this one. The next one that I have is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. Woof, this one, when I did my wrap up of it, I cried during it thinking about this book because it touched me in all of the right places inside of my soul. Oh gosh, phenomenal book. I think that people have issues with this book because it is like a series of vignettes and they're all quite small. There's no like plot that goes from start to finish. So if you don't like that, I guess this isn't really for you, but it's so tiny, you might as well give it a shot. And I don't know. I don't remember if there was maybe like punctuation issues too. Like people, maybe there's no quotes and people don't like that when people are speaking. I don't know why people are so picky about that kind of stuff, but far be it from me to tell you what to enjoy. And yeah, this is just so good. There's so many things that are touched upon on this story, and I feel like, I could relate to many of them, and I feel like other people could too. Like these are very, I don't know, relatable type of things, and it gives you like a good insight of what it's like to be the, daughter of, I think her parents were immigrants in the story. I forget exactly, but it's, being like in a Hispanic environment. I think, where are they? It just says Hispanic quarter. I don't know where exactly they're from, but it gives you a little bit of insight into that, and I think it is beautiful and wonderful. The next one that I have is Chess by Stefan Zweig. Well, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. This is translated by Anthea Bell. And this was bananas. This is so good. It's about a chess game, which doesn't sound like super interesting if I just say that. But I don't really want to tell you what happens in the book. I just think that you should trust me and pick it up. It's translated, it's small, and it's beautifully written. All of these are very, very well written. And it's this guy in his head. It just turns into madness. It's so good. I recommend this. I kind of want to reread this already, even though I read it either this year or last year. I forget. Since I've started BookTube, I read this though. And the last one that I have is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. Talk about the feels. This book really kind of depressed me, actually, because I felt so just sad. I think when I read this, I was kind of like in a sameness. Like I was, just living life every day, and I get to the point where I kind of feel like, what's the point? And just like in a rut. And I feel like this book like really reflected that, because there's this point in their relationship where they're just like going and going, and I don't know, it feels like trapped and claustrophobic. But it is beautifully written. It's wonderful. Oh, in case you don't know, it's the story of a man who is either got a fiance or it's just a girlfriend. The girlfriend leaves, and then this man Giovanni kind of enters his life, and then David's the main character. David and Giovanni start a relationship, and it is very tumultuous. Absolutely beautiful. This is the first Baldwin that I read, and I would recommend it highly, because James Baldwin is the best, and I need to read more of his works. So those are some tiny, tiny little books. I feel like oh gosh, I got one facing the wrong direction. They're so little. You could probably read one of these a day. You want to do like 7 books in 7 days. This is 6 books, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, hope everyone has a great day. If you've got any tiny book recommendations, let me know. I think I've got like just a few, and I might try to bang a couple of them out, since I'm, 17 books behind on my Goodreads goal at this point. Ooh. Okay, yeah.